The next ending is considered non-canon, but for the life of me I can't understand why. It leads to better circumstances for the entire world, but without it, Two Thrones wouldn't have occurred. After all, the majority of players will receive this ending because finding every life upgrade the first time around is nearly inconceivable. Instead of the Dahaka appearing earlier, the prince for some reason doesn't give his little speech about not wanting to kill the Empress, and the two fight in the middle of the arena. I have to say, these fights contain almost every serious problem I have listed thus far. Backtracking? Yep, I've already been here 3 times. Bugs? She doesn't do anything when you're hanging from the ledge and cannot block your rolling attack. Working within a newly constructed and illogical timeline? Check. No support character? And number 7, which I forgot to add earlier, imbalanced combat system? You betcha. This is my second face-off with this boss, and I managed to 100% her because of these absolutely insanely overpowered moves. I think it's worth mentioning though that this is actually more of an entertaining boss. Sure, they're reusing some of the same animations and music as before, but this little kiting phase inserted 3 times into the fight makes it at least a little bit longer and more challenging. If you get touched by any of these sand clouds, half a health circle is instantly lost. It brings the rewind power into the fight, which is about the only time you'll use it in combat. I don't mind her as a boss in this manner. She even goes berserk near the end of the battle, doing higher damage.
Fools who will quest for the sands and find them. My vengeance will be unleashed once more on your world.
Kaileena perishes once more, but before she can successfully implode creating the Sands of Time, the Dahaka shows up and has his way with her body, and Pharaoh's medallion, destroying the active relics of the Sands, like in Terminator 2 where they erased the future Terminator microchips in the past. Unfortunately, the Dahaka destroys himself in the process, and the prince is spared from his brutality. Why do I think this ending is better? Get ready for me to blow your mind. Once you begin Two Thrones, the first thing you learn is that the prince is responsible for this course of history being altered into a state where Babylon gets invaded and hundreds of thousands of people either die or become imprisoned. As a final grand gesture of Warrior Within, it grants you the status of mass murderer and genocidal maniac. By selfishly saving himself, the prince has caused everything to plunge into this horrible state. Did you get all of that? Let me put it simply, you just fucked up everything. The Maharaja dies and the army is brought to Babylon. Because Kaileena is still alive when Two Thrones starts, the Vizier enacts his grand scheme to steal her essence and become immortal, while transforming his entire army into a powerful sand race able to instantly mobilize anywhere in the city. Because Kaileena dies in this ending, the fantastic adventures of Pharaoh and the prince couldn't occur for this reason. The Vizier wouldn't be able to transform anything when invading Babylon, and the two of them would have easily been able to put him down. An even better ending would have been to have the prince destroy the Dahaka and Kaileena in the past, still creating the Azad sequence but saving almost every human life by doing so. The Vizier would die at the end of Sands of Time, and Two Thrones would never occur. Instead, Ubisoft, which I've been mispronouncing so it seems, wanted generic rage guy and a voluptuous empress with the personality of a paperclip to survive the Sands of Time too. Not that I have a problem with Two Thrones, I seriously enjoyed it, but all of this ending of life and destruction at the Dahaka was the last straw for me.
Some believed when the prince journeyed to the Island of Time to escape death, that he returned alone. The amulet destroyed, the Dahaka appeased, the Empress dead. The prince was free at last, but this is not how it happened. The truth is that he chose to save me from my destiny. In doing so, he set me free, and doomed us all.
See what I mean? Even the game is aware of what's happened.
Prince, of all the possible futures, this one held the most promise.
Haha, no.
It drew me here, towards Babylon. Alas, the Maharaja did not share my vision, would not grant me leave. So I slew him and claimed his kingdom, his army for my own. Nothing would stand between me and my desire.
Oh shit! All news to me. I'm gonna need shock treatment to get over this one.